Aye, how's it going, everyone? Star Wars Outlaws has seen its official announcement with the release date. The game is coming August 30th, but you know Ubisoft gotta do their typical nonsense, and yes, I shouldn't be surprised by it, but guess what? I'm still gonna be annoyed by it, and we still gotta call it out for what it is, absolute garbage. When the game is $70, the Gold Edition is $110, and guess what? The game's coming out on August 30th. It's a single-player game, but you want to play it a little bit early? August 27th, baby. You'll get 3 days early access if you drop an extra $40 for the Gold Edition, and not to mention, the Gold Edition is going to give you the Season Pass as well, so they're going to have content that's attached to the Gold Edition, and then, there's an edition even higher than that. The $130 Ultimate Edition, which includes the Gold Edition content and a Shark Bundle, Rogue Infiltrator Bundle, and a digital art book. Ubisoft gonna Ubisoft. We gotta talk all about this. It's absolute insanity. The game itself, I think, looks great, but come on, man. This is just typical Ubisoft nonsense in the sense that they want to monetize these games to the nth degree and beyond, and this is the exact price structure that Avatar Frontiers of Pandora had as well, and they are valuing the Season Pass at $40 because 3 days of early access, we know that's not a real thing. We know that's valueless in the sense of all they are doing is locking this game away from the people that dare to pay $70. This is what's happening in gaming, and I get it. Some of you guys are gonna be like, it's not a big deal, you're making too big of a deal about early access. I'll just let Ubisoft take everything from me. Take my bank account, Ubisoft. I need Star Wars. But, I get it. I loved Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, and I get that the Star Wars fans are super into it and they're gonna spend the $110 or $130, but they did the exact same nonsense with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and it's just like, bro, $110 for the Gold Edition, $130 for the Ultimate Edition. These special editions are just getting more and more expensive, and it's all to low-key increase the price point of these games, so they're gonna get more money out of a select audience that's gonna pay that amount. Well, at the same time, the base game is still $70. They know they can't up the price point of that because going to $80 is probably a little bit too egregious at this stage of the game. I just don't think it'll fly. But they know there's that audience that has disposable income, and they're doing sneaky, sly things to continually try to get more money out of the audience that's going to spend $110. That's why you're seeing stuff like Sega locking New Game Plus to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth behind the Deluxe Edition. They're being a little bit more sly, a little bit sneaky. The early access gimmick has become so predominant, so pronounced in gaming that people have just accepted it. People are just like, yeah, bro, early access, I'll pay $110 for early access. I need the 3 days of early access, but we all know it isn't real. The game is done by the point the early access is ready to go out. It is so crazy that this is just being widely accepted, and so many publishers are doing it now that it's just like, let's go, dude, early access. But we all know it's fake. It's not real. It's not a real thing, and who knows what that Season Pass content will be. Probably story-based content that, the argument can be made that it should have been in the game from the get-go, but they're outlining that right out of the gate. They're like, and they're valuing it at $40. How insane is that? A $40 Season Pass? I'm not doing the math here, but $40 is a significant portion of what that $70 price point would be, and they did the same thing with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, by the way. Gold Edition was $110, and that included the Season Pass. They didn't bake in the early access gimmick with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, but they did do the story-based content. And by the way, if you want to buy the Season Pass standalone for Frontiers of Pandora, it's $40. So they are valuing this Season Pass content at $40. Season Passes used to be like $20, $25 if you were gonna do it. They've appreciated to $40, and on top of that, they're doing all this other nonsense like New Game Plus being locked behind Deluxe Edition, like early access being exclusive to the Gold Edition, quote-unquote early access. We all know it's nonsense. And then, if that wasn't enough, Ubisoft gotta come out here and be like, we're gonna give you cosmetic content, guys! Cosmetic content, and that'll be $130. Look, I get it, it's just cosmetics and whatnot, and a bunch of nonsense that isn't that valuable, but, some people are gonna spend this money on it, and then again, I've said it over and over again, you give these publishers an inch, they'll ultimately take a mile, and things are just gonna get worse and worse. And Ubisoft, let's be real, they've they've taken multiple miles at this stage of the game. What they've done to Assassin's Creed, what they do regularly to their games in terms of their monetization practices is absolutely insane. And I am sure Star Wars Outlaws is going to be a fairly good game. I'm sure it'll be alright. Ubisoft kind of has their open world formula down to a T at this point, set between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Explore distinct planets across the galaxy, both iconic and new. Risk it all as Kay Vess, a scoundrel seeking freedom and the means to start a new life. Along with her companion Nix, fight, steal, and outwit your way through galaxies, crime syndicates as you join the galaxy's most wanted. If you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunities. And I think this game looks great, and I think people are going to end up enjoying it, but guys, it's just like Ubisoft is just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing and seeing how far that they can get away with it. And if you don't think this is nonsense, first of all, the early access gimmick is absolute hot garbage, especially when you're talking about employing it on single player games. It's one thing if you're talking about, okay, we only want X amount of people on the multiplayer servers at this date and then we'll open it up to everybody. But guys, this game is gonna be done. It's gonna be ready to go. At least I hope it's ready to go. They're probably gonna release it with a bunch of performance issues because that seems to be the standard, and I have no faith in that aspect of gaming these days. But for the most part, the game on August 27th is gonna be the same game on August 30th. You are asked to pay an extra $40 to play the game when it comes out. On top of that, they're pushing the envelope in terms of the season pass pricing. $40 for a season pass? And it's just wild to me that there are people that are just gonna be like, you're making much ado about nothing, XYZ. But again, year over year, they're gonna push it a little further. They're gonna push it a little further. And I already know, guys. I already know me complaining about this is not gonna accomplish anything. A lot of you guys are already of the mindset you're not buying any Ubisoft games. You'll buy them in the bargain bin because they go on sale fairly quickly, and this game is coming out, August 30th. A lot of you guys probably can wait until Black Friday and then get the game a little bit cheaper, but it's just so wild that they decide to push it to this extent. The top edition being $130, even if you want to say, yo, you don't need the Ultimate Edition, the Gold Edition gives you everything. $110, you guys. $110 for a single player game to get all the content and to play the game when it's actually ready and not be locked out of playing the game at a certain date. That's just so lame to me. This is so crazy. I could almost understand, yo, $85, $80, at that point it's whatever. $110? Like, this is insanity. Insanity when you're looking at like the price point differential from the base game. The season pass, which is going to have story-based content, that is being valued at $40, and you're doing the early access nonsense. If you guys think that this is just, oh, this is great for the consumer, no, Ubisoft is just going to keep pushing, and guess what? Other publishers are going to start following suit if they see Ubisoft making a lot of money. Now, with Avatar, I don't know how that game did commercially. I doubt it did all too well, and I almost can kind of understand it where Star Wars, it's probably expensive to get the licensing IPs or whatever, but they did it for Avatar as well, and they did it for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That $50 for that game already seemed like a little much, but you want to play it when it's actually ready to go. $60, please. It's just so crazy, man. Whatever. Like, I might be blowing a gasket over this over nothing. It's Ubisoft, so it should be entirely expected, but I'm still gonna call out nonsense when I see it. Even as good as this game looks, and I think it's gonna be quite good, $70 base game, which is whatever. That's the general price point of the base game these days. $110 for the Gold Edition with all the content. Early access being baked into it as well. Avatar didn't have the early access gimmick. Star Wars Outlaws does, and it's employing the $40 season pass. That's just so whack to me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. I think it's absolutely lame. Ubisoft gonna keep doing it because that's what Ubisoft does, but sound off with your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.